Hello and welcome to Crochet My Way. In this video we're going to learn how to make a needle join. Now I have a piece of work here. The beauty of a needle join, and many designers ask for it sometimes only at specific times, other times they tell you to just slip stitch join, and that's fine. But when they ask you for a needle join, there's a very good reason for it. Here's the top row of my work, going all the way around here, all uniform, nice and neat. Well, what you don't know is that there is a knot in the corner where I joined. But from the top you cannot tell where that is until I flip the work. There's my tails. I joined here and you cannot see a slip stitch join here. You cannot see the join. That's the beauty of the needle join. And it is used to good effect because if, for example, you're coming back around and your next row is making, say, back post stitches, and you're coming up from the back and down from the top, it doesn't ruin the look of your work. I mean, I haven't worked away my tails here, but you can see that I have kept a nice, straight, clean stitch here, if I pull my tails out of the way, to work in. So you can do a post stitch very easily if you need to. And the loops on the top look very uniform. So that's the needle join. I'm going to show you how to do it next. Just take a minute, take your time. It can be a bit nerve-wracking when you first do them, but don't worry, we're going to get it done. Back in a sec. So let me show you how I've done it. First of all, you've got to finish your last stitch. So I'm just making some stitches here, and I'm just going to make my last stitch. That was an extended single crochet if you've never seen one. Now I'm going to make the needle join here. I've finished my last stitch. Do not slip stitch back into your starting stitch. Don't do that. I actually had a standing stitch here. You might have a chain. It doesn't matter which, but don't connect into where you started. You're going to do something a little bit scary instead, but trust me, it will work and it will look fantastic, just like I showed you. So first thing we have to do is complete that stitch, and then take your scissors and cut yourself a nice good length of tail there to work with. See, I cut it. Now I have two ends. Don't worry, it's going to be good. But the next scary thing we have to do is pull that thread out from the loop. All of it, pull it out, pull it out, pull it out. Nothing will unravel, don't worry, it won't unravel. Because you've pulled that loop out, nothing comes undone. Okay, it's held in place. Now I just need to thread my yarn into a needle, like that. And now come over to your initial stitch. Now for me, as I said, it was a standing stitch. You can see that by the tail. But if you've got a chain, it's the same thing, do not worry. I need to skip that stitch and come across. Now in this case I'm coming into a corner. You may have multiple stitches in your corner. Use the second one, not this first one. Come over here and grab the top two loops, whether it's a chain or whether it's a stitch. Just go under those top two loops. It's very easy to do. You see how even though this is a chain, I've gone through the middle of that chain using the top two loops. Push your needle through and pull that tail through, and it goes and sits right on top of my standing stitch, or it could be a chain, doesn't matter, it's the same thing. Pull it a bit tight, you can always pull it out again. Now the next step is to come back to this ending stitch, the last stitch we made that loop has come from, and stab down through the middle of it. Now you can either just go under that back loop, just like that. I do like to use both the back and the third loop of my stitch when I do a needle join. See them two there? So you stab down through the middle. If you just go straight down, you automatically skewer both of those loops. Pull the loop through again, like that. A little bit snug at first, and try to pull it to be the same tension as all your other stitches. So you see that? It looks pretty good. Now my standing stitch is just sitting in the back all by itself, or it could be your chain, whatever, doesn't matter. I like to now come back to this stitch, or it could be the chain loops, whatever, and just skewer back down through that. Now the issue for me is oftentimes when people are making a needle join, they make the mistake of threading away their tail really quickly and across multiple stitches. Please don't do that, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Come back down through that chain or starting stitch that you had and just go straight through it. Snag some of its loops, but do not cross over to any other stitches you may have in the area. Just go straight down through. Now this has anchored my standing stitch as well. Turn it back over and you've still got this perfect join. We've created a set of false loops over the top of that starting stitch that I had, the standing stitch for me, or your chain, whatever chains you had there. You see that? And now that looks picture perfect. So when I work away my tails in a minute, you will never know where that join was. It looks exactly the same there and there. Can you see that? Where's the join? It's like, where's Wally? Where's the join? Can't see it. So if I threw this on the floor and picked it up again, I would not be able to find my join unless I flipped over my work. And there it is. Okay, so we're not finished though, please. Remember this, that needle join loop is not connected to anything. You just pulled it out. So there are a couple of things you need to do. I tend to be a little bit of a worrywart, so I will now use my tail and make a knot. I will make a square knot. So first go around one way and then go around the other to make a square knot, and that secures everything nice and snug. The beauty of the square knot is it only cinches from the top and it will not pull your threads. I love them. I'll tell you all about those another time. Then you can work away your tails. Now if you didn't have a starting loop tail like I did, you will just have to work away your tail through your stitches and do it multiple times. So work up, come back, and then go maybe a third time, because it is not secured. The loop from the needle join is not secured, the tail I should say. So make sure you work it away really well so that in subsequent washes, because the work we make is going to get washed, it's a lifetime achievement, it's going to get washed over and over. But here we go. This is the join, but you cannot tell. Looks just like any other corner as I go around. From there to there. Look at that. And the only telltale hint are those tails. So that's your needle join. Ta-da! Have fun with that one. I don't know about you, but once I learned how to do a needle join, I stopped doing anything else. Have fun with it. Practice it a bit. Don't be afraid. Just always cut yourself a nice long loop when you're not sure, when you first start out. You will need a shorter one later when you get the hang of it. But to begin, give yourself plenty of room. Have a play with it. Practice it and you'll never turn back. Till next time, bye for now.